So, welcome to Miss M Science class. And to start, let's check in. How are you feeling today? For my students, I encourage you to draw anywhere. So all you have to do is to drag or draw somewhere in this emoji. Yan, wow! So may sumagot na ng ano. Everything is great. That's good. Dalawa lang? How about the others? All you have to do is to click somewhere here and then just drag here. Like for example, this one. Ganyan. So everything is great. So I hope everything is great. And let's proceed. So for those people who answered I'm struggling pero I don't see any answers, no, I'm struggling and I'm having a hard time, don't you worry. We could have our one-on-one session later if you need to about that are actually connected to our subject. But I guess everything is great and we could proceed to our next slide. Okay. So last time we actually discussed the topic about simple circuit. So actually, we discussed the parts, the functions, diba? And so for today, what I want you to do is to use the word bank here. Okay, use the word bank here and wherein you can see here wire, bulb, switch, and also battery. And then what I want you to do is to type in. So you have here, this one, click the text, and then click here, and then type in your answer. So what is your answer for number 1, for number 2, for number 3, and for number 4? Please try to answer. Where's my students? Wow! So someone answered bulb. How about the other students? Actually, the answer for number 1 is bulb. That's correct. How about for number 2? Could you please answer number 2? Anyone? All you have to do is to click here, click the text, and then click here. The area wherein you will write your answer. How about for number 2? Battery. Is it battery? That's correct. Ang galing. How about number 3? It's switch. That's correct also. And the last is the wire. Very good. So I think you're ready for the next lesson. Thank you for answering this one. So the question is, have you ever wondered how Christmas lights works? Why is it that if you pull out or break one of the bulbs, just like this one here, when you remove one of the bulbs, the whole strand lights goes out? Bakit nawawala or bakit hindi na siya gumagana? Okay? So we will answer that later. So actually, the secret behind it lies within the lesson today, and that is the series circuit. Are you excited? Are you ready? Okay, so let's proceed. So before we start, we have to know the objectives first. So at the end of our lesson, you should be able to first describe a series circuit. Second, explain the advantages and disadvantages of series connections in homes. And third, realize the importance of electrical safety measures used at home. Yeah. So now we will proceed to our science word wall. My very favorite science word wall, which is who am I? So we have to have this one for our vocabulary words or scientific terms so that we will understand the lesson as we goes on. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I have here statements and they're asking who are they. So, who am I? I am an electrical circuit that is not complete. I am an electrical circuit that is not complete. Now, what I want you to do is to drag the star icon. This one. Drag this one. You may choose kung ano yung gusto mong sagot. Which of the two? Is it open circuit or is it closed circuit? Wow! So some answered open circuit and the others also answered closed circuit. Pero majority answered open circuit. So not complete. If we're talking about not complete, the answer should be open circuit. Hindi siya buo. Just like this one. Hindi siya buo, hindi siya complete. Okay? So that's correct. So for those people who got confused, don't worry. I am going to have or provide a one-on-one session with you later. Okay, so let's proceed. How about this one? Yan. I am the flow of electric charge and I am measured in ampere or symbol A, capital letter A. Is it A, voltage, or is it B, electric current with the symbol I and voltage with the symbol V? Anyone? Just drag again the icon. Let's show the responses. Okay, so majority answered electric current and one answered or two answered voltage. Flow of electric charge. If we're talking about flow of electric charge, so just imagine water that is flowing, dumadaloy. The correct answer is electric current. Okay, or capital letter I. That's the symbol. Thank you. Wow, ang galing. Next, how about this one? I am the difference in electrical potential energy between 2 points in a circuit. And I am measured in volts. Oh, the answer is very obvious. What do you think is the answer? Wow, ang galing-galing talaga. That's correct. The answer is voltage. So, kung makikita nyo, we have here the picture in which makikita mo na parang tinutulak niya yung current. So, para mas madaling matandaan, yung nagpo-flow is the current and yung mismong taga-tulak, taga-push, taga-go is yung voltage. Okay? So may nag-answer din ng resistance. So don't worry, later pwede tayong reteach or magkaroon ng session one-on-one. So but the answer is voltage. Okay, so next. How about this one? Ito, medyo halata rin yung sagot dito. I am the ability of material to stop the flow of electric current. Bawal. I am measured in ohms. Is it A, current with the symbol I, or B, resistance with the symbol R? What do you think is the answer? Wow, ang galing naman. Oh, may isa pa rin ulit. Ayan, so ang galing. Majority answered resistance. Oh, yun, gumaya na siya. And so majority answered resistance and yung isa na naligaw, ang sagot na niya rin ngayon ay resistance. Ayan, very good. So yan, very obvious. Resist, ayaw, bawal. So with this, the ability of material to slow or to stop, pinapabagal niya. Okay? Yan. Now, because you actually already know the words that we will use as we goes on with the lesson, let us start with the first objective, and that is describe a series circuit. So, what is a series circuit? Yan. So, a series circuit includes a closed, sarado, circuit with one path, isa lang ang daanan, through which electricity flows. A series circuit has the amount of the current is the same at all points. Meaning, like for example, this one, in this equation, you will observe the IT or the total current is equal to the I I1 and I2. So for example, sabi nga natin kanina, itong bilog na to ay bulb. So yung I1, which is yung bulb 1, ay yung bulb 1, meron siyang I1, meron siyang current 1. Yung value ng current 1 is the same with the value ng current sa bulb 2. Parehas lang. So para natin sinabi na kapag si current 1 ay merong 10, so dapat sa bulb 2, yung current doon ay meron 10 din dapat. So the total current should also be 10. Pare-parehas lang sila. Okay? Why? Because of this Ohm's law, which shows that the electric current should be the same at all points, pare-parehas, but the voltage and the resistance has an inversely proportional relationship to each other. So mamaya i-discuss pa natin yan. Okay, kalma lang tayo. Now, let us have this one. The more components added. So when we add more components, when we say component, that is a device that could be a bulb. So yan, when we add more devices or components in the circuit, in the series circuit, what happened is that the more resistance. So the resistance increases also. Okay? So habang nagdadagdag tayo ng mga bulbs, like for example sa Christmas lights, tumataas or nagdadagdagan din yung kanyang resistance. That's why yung components minsan actually tinatawag din siyang resistors. Okay. So the overall current decreases. Eh ma'am, kanina ang sabi ninyo, yung current naman talaga is the same. Bakit dito the overall current decreases? Take note that the overall current is just equal. Parehas lang. Is just equal with the current dun sa bawat load. Dun sa bulb 1 at ganun din sa bulb 2. Now, let us have this picture dito sa baba. So we have here the current flow. If it is in normal condition, you will observe na tuloy-tuloy lang yung pagdaloy ng kuryente. Okay? So walang pumipigil, walang humaharang, pwedeng lumabas. But if you will observe in the second picture dito banda sa baba, you will observe here that the flow of current is disturbed. So diyan makikita nyo na disturb siya. Why? Because of a high amount or because of the increasing resistance. And because of that, wala siyang choice kundi bagalan. Just like for example, tayo kunwari sa pila, wala tayong choice kundi mag-social distancing. Kasi bawal dikit-dikit. Okay? So parang ganon. Ganon din si resistance. When there is increasing amount of resistance, the current have no choice but to decrease and to slow down. Okay? Next. So, let me hear you. Drag your dot to how you are feeling. Masyado bang maraming sinabi si ma'am or information overload? Let me hear you. Wow, keep going. I understand. So, I should keep going. Thank you. Okay, how about the others? Okay, so I am talagang confused siya. Hindi niya alam kung saan siya pupunta. Okay, keep going. I understand. So for my student who answered, I am little confused, don't worry. We will have our one-on-one session later. Okay? Because of the time constraints that we have. Kaya kailangan natin mag-proceed muna. Pero huwag kang mag-alala. Pwede tayong magkaroon ng one-on-one session later. Ha? Okay, so let's proceed. Since I think everybody got it correct. Since I think everybody understand the lesson about the series circuit. Now, so module time. I ask you to bring your module and I ask you also to answer your module. So check yourself. So honesty is the best policy. Let us check your activity number 1 in your module. Be honest in checking your module. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. I will be happy to help you. So here's my email and here's my FB or Messenger. Just message me or chat me. Okay? So activity number 1. What I want you to do is to draw your own series circuit diagram given the following components. So, ito yung mga materials needed. Ayan. So, meron tayo dito 2 light bulbs. And then, we also have here switch and battery. And then, we also have here wire. And then, on the other hand, dito sa kabila, or on the other side, you will observe here that we have our schematic diagram or symbols, electrical symbols for our series circuit with 2 loads or 2 bulbs. Ayan. So here's the answer key. If your answer is somewhat the same with my answer key, you got it correctly. If not, don't worry. I could give extra activities or additional activities for you so you can you can have or you can review again this lesson. Okay? So ito. So dito makikita nyo, we have the wire and then we have the 2 bulbs and then we have the battery and also the switch. Dito naman, ganun ulit, pero ang difference ay naka-schematic diagram na tayo. Yan, very good. So, for those people who got it correctly, 5 thumbs up. And for those people who are not, don't worry, mamaya pwede tayong magkaroon ng one-on-one session later. Okay, so let's proceed again to our next part. Yan. So, here, we will proceed to our next objective. Yan. For our next objective, explain the advantages. And of course, if there are advantages, there should also be disadvantages of series connections in homes. Okay, just a little reminder. The word here, connection, okay, this one, don't be confused with this word because connections serves as a layman's term or a general term, and circuit is the physics term or science term if we're talking about series connections or series circuit. So they are just the same. Parehas lang sila. Okay? Yan. So, what are the advantages of series connections? Okay. So, for our advantages, we have here 3 main advantages. The first one is to design. It is simple to design and build. Napakadali niyang gawin. So, ito yung madalas pagawa sa mga elementary students. Napakadali niyang gawin. Okay? Kahit hindi ka masyadong maalam sa electricity, pwedeng-pwede mong gawin. Okay. Also, one of the advantages is capable of adding more devices. Ito pa yung pinakamaganda sa kanya. Pwede kang magdagdag ng mga devices. And last, ito pa yung pinakakakaiba. Pwede kang magdagdag ng devices, but simple circuit or series connection rather is less likely to overheat. Imagine mo, nagdadagdag ka ng devices pero hindi naman siya basta-basta mag-overheat. Why? So mamaya malalaman natin. Okay, so next is we have the disadvantages. Okay, ito na yung pinaka-disadvantage talaga niya. Okay? So if you will observe here in this image, so umiilaw silang lahat, but when we remove one bulb, the other bulbs also goes out. Hindi na siya gumagana. So if one component fails, pag isa sa mga yan nag-fail, like this one, all the other components will also fail. Why? Because when we remove this bulb, or when this bulb becomes broken, for example, there is what we call a gap. And this gap is what we called, katulad kanina, a open gap. So, that gap will create this what we call open circuit. Since it is an open circuit, then therefore, the electric current cannot pass through. Dahil hindi siya makakadaan, hindi na rin makakailaw yung iba. Yun lang yung medyo maganda. Hindi maganda. One for all for one. O, di ba? So, problema ng isa, problema ng lahat. So, yun lang. Just like, for example, yung mga dati pang mga Christmas lights, di ba? Pag nasira isa, ang hirap hanapin kung asan yung problema. So, yun. So, aside from that, we have this adding more components. So, ito na yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, advantage, pero may disadvantage. So, adding more components, components means device, or components means bulb. So, like, for example, here, we have bulbs here, 3 bulbs. So, adding more components lead to increase of resistance, but decrease of voltage. Okay, so I have here a picture to represent that. Again, let me remind you that the current is somewhat just like water in a river, or for example, in a hose. So, yun yung dumadaloy. Okay, yun yung current. Yun yung dumadaloy. Pero si voltage, siya yung taga-push. Siya yung taga-go, taga-push para maka-flow. Kaso, meron tayong tinatawag na resistance. Bawal. Bawal dumaan. Bawal. Okay? So, dahil tumataas yung resistance, what happened is that, dahil nga inversely proportional sila sa isa't isa, hindi magkasundo si voltage at saka si resistance sa isa't isa. Pag gusto na yung voltage, go si voltage, bawal si resistance, no si resistance. Okay, because of that, what happened is that the current, even though actually the same at all points, napipilitan siyang sumunod. Kasi nga, bawal. Hindi siya padadaanin. So, from this large amount of current, medyo magsuslows down siya pag dumaan dito. Okay? So, ganun yung nangyayari sa ganitong klase ng mga components when we're talking about series circuit or series connection. If you will observe here, the first bulb that is connected, ayan, connected siya dito sa mismong ating negative terminal of the battery, yung pinaka-pinagsimulan ng source or ng electric current. Kung makikita nyo rito, siya yung pinakamaliwanag, di ba? It is the brightest. It has the brightest light among the three. Pero, as the electric current goes through this one, you will observe na bumabagal and at the same time, humihina. That's why the light becomes dimmer. Okay? So, the more components we add, components is somewhat also the same as resistors. So, the more components we add, the increase of resistance, the decrease of voltage. If there is an excessive, ibig sabihin medyo sobra na yung pagbaba ng voltage, that is what we call voltage drop. Okay po? Yan. Tingnan natin ulit. So, let me hear something from you. So, drag your dot to hear, to how you are feeling. So, sige, tingnan natin kung information overload ba to. Wait lang, babalik po ako doon sa ating presentation. Yan. Okay pa ba kayo? Wow! So, keep going, I understand. And then, wala pa nagsasagot ng I am little confused and stop, I need help. Thank you. So for our activity number 2, all you have to do is to accomplish the table below. Draw a smiley face if the statement is an advantage and a sad face if the statement is a disadvantage using a series connections in home. So here's the answer key. It is simple to design and build. Happy. If one component fails, all components will also fail. Sad. Unequal distribution of energy. Sad. All more light bulbs are added to the circuit. The light become dimmer. Sad. It allows additional devices. Happy. The more devices added to the circuit, the more devices added to the circuit, the less current passes through. Sad. It is less likely to overheat. Happy. Adding more components increase total resistance of the circuit. Sad. If one additional source like battery which provides more power to the circuit, happy. And voltage drop may happen due to increase of resistance. Sad. So if you got it correctly, very good. And we will proceed to the next objective. Yan. So, for our next objective, we have here number 3. Since we already know the advantage and disadvantages, now we have to know the importance. We have to realize the importance of electrical safety measures used at home. Yan. So, look at this picture. What does this picture tells you? Sadly, this picture is an actual photo taken by or covered covered by GMA News TV in Barangay E. Rodriguez, Quezon City, with 35 families affected because of the accident due to electricity. Okay, so electricity is good, but if we do not know how to use it properly, it is very dangerous. Now, what I want you to do is to write down or type down. Give me one word to describe it. Awareness. Thank you. Scary. Yes, it is scary. It raises awareness, di ba? Sabi nga, hindi kailangan na ikaw mismo yung makaranas para matutunan mo. Dapat, matuto ka rin sa iba. Wag na yung experience is the best teacher. The experience of the others is the best teacher. Pwede yon. Scary. Be educated to properly use your electricity. Yes, that's correct. Tragic. Yes, unfortunately, that's tragic. And that is one of the sad true stories na possible talaga because of the, unfortunately, because of accidents caused by electricity malfunctions or misuse of electricity. Okay. Now, because of that, here are some of the electrical safety measures that we could do. First is, never ever put objects in outlet or appliances. Why? Because metals are good conductors of electricity. Electrons can flow easily there. Diba? So, nakakatakot yun. Wag mong gagawin yun. Next is, don't plug too much stuff into one outlet. Nagkakaroon ng overloading na tinatawag. Next, never mix water and electricity because water is a good conductor of electricity also. Next, stay away from power lines. And last, of course, stay away from transformers and substations. Hindi maganda tumambay dyan. So, wag na wag niyong gagawin. Okay? And, did you know that we use fuses and circuit breakers, our homes, to prevent and also to protect us from accidents that could cause fires. So here we have fuses and circuit breakers are connected in series with the household circuit. Bakit siya dapat naka-series? Actually, majority ng mga circuits nowadays ay parallel. Pero bakit ito kailangan naka-series? Because yung fuse and yung circuit breakers, what we call this, they protect us and also they control the flow of the current. Kaya dapat naka-series sila. Okay? So fuse, so here we have fuse here, yung maliit na yan, meron siyang thin wire, and then yung isa naman circuit breaker. Tapos dito sa baba, makikita nyo, you have here circuit breaker box, and then we also have the fuse box. So makikita nyo, mas simple yung fuse box, tapos makikita nyo rito, yung circuit breaker, box ay mas malaki. Tsaka mas marami siyang buttons, ayan, on and off, yan. So dito, fuse contains a piece of wire, yan, napaka-nipis lang nun. That melt easily, mabilis siyang mag-melt. And it can be quicker for interrupting the flow of current, but when they melt, they must be replaced. So itong fuse na to, mas mura naman to kaysa sa circuit breakers. It's just that, yung fuse kasi, kapag nag-melt na yung nasa loob, hindi mo na pwedeng gamitin ulit. Kaya medyo nagiging pricey siya. Mas pricey kasi paulit-ulit ka ng bili. Unlike, kapag meron tayong circuit breakers, ang gagawin mo lang is, i-reset mo lang ulit. Okay? So, para ang difference nila, minsan ka lang gumasa sa circuit breaker, pero mas matagal mo magagamit. Sa fuse naman, mabilis siya, automatic. Yung circuit breakers kasi depende kung automatic o hindi eh. Siyempre, pag automatic, mas mahal. Pero doon naman sa fuse, minsan mo lang siya magagamit, one time, big time mo lang siya magagamit, pero automatic. So, the best, kung medyo nakaluwag-luwag at meron tayong budget, as much as possible, dapat po naglalaan tayo ng budget pambili ng mga ganito sa bahay. Kasi para na sa atin ito. Especially here in Holy Spirit, di ba medyo dikit-dikit ang bahay, alam nyo na. So, talagang prone tayo sa sunog or sa faulty wirings or accidents caused by electricity malfunction. Okay, so how does the fuse protect the circuit? Paano nga ba niya pinoprotektahan? So the fuse and circuit breakers are used to protect electrical circuits by preventing overloads that can cause fire. So you here in the first picture, dito makikita nyo, connected pa siya. So yung fuse, makikita nyo dito, the wire in fuse not broken. So okay pa. Because of that, the kettle will work. Gagana pa siya. Because wala tayong open gap. Ibig sabihin nun, closed circuit ito. Dahil closed circuit, ibig sabihin, dadaloy ng maayos ang kuryente. Kaya, gagana. Pero dito sa baba, makikita nyo, we have here open gap. Nasira na or nagmelt na yung tinatawag nating wire. And because of that, the kettle will not work. It will not work. So, kailangan na natin palitan yung fuse. Or kung masyadong mahal na yun, palitan na lang natin yung kettle. Parang ganun. Okay po? Ayan. So, for the last time, drag your dot to how you are feeling. Keep going, I understand. Don't worry, last na yon, malapit na tayo. Isa lang, where's my other students? Kumain na ba? Nag-CR na? Okay, so we also have 2, 3. I'm happy to know that. Oh, meron tayong stop. I need help. Na-confuse siya. I'm a little confused. I'm going. Keep going, I understand. Okay. Sige po. So, let's proceed to the last. Okay. So, for your last output or activity, here's the question. Here's the essential question. Why do we need to have electrical safety measures at home? All you have to do is to choose from 2 options below. First is create a 2-minute infomercial, or the second one is make a poster slogan in an Oslo paper. But take note, you should prepare to submit your output today at 5 p.m. Okay po, ngayong araw. So that wala ka nang iisipin tomorrow. At machi-check na rin natin today. Okay, so drag your dot to indicate whether you understand the instruction or not. Sige po. Sino ang nakaintindi? Sino ang hindi? Wow, I understand! May na-confuse ulit. Saan ka ba? Okay, so I understand also. Wow, so ibig sabihin talagang kayang-kaya nila yung 5 o'clock p.m. later. Okay, so that's all. Thank you and God bless.